To remark that Mr. Lehrmann is a poor witness is an exercise of understatement, but irrespective of legal obligation, there are gradations of seriousness of untruths. An untruthful person may just be all mouth and trousers, or may be recklessly indifferent to the truth. All these falsehoods, together with his Walter Mitty-like imaginings in skiting to Miss Gain about ACES, demonstrate that Mr. Lehrmann has no compunction about departing from the truth if he thought it was expedient. There is a significant difference between the distortions of Mr. Lehrmann and Miss Higgins. In the case of Mr. Lehrmann, the untruths were all over the shop, being a form of what might be described as disorganised lying, whereas the untruths of Miss Higgins, A, can be placed in two temporal categories, B, were in the latter category quite organised, and C, within both categories, generally had a common thread. Declaiming on the topics of who was building submarines and where they were being built is not quite the repartee one would usually expect to hear over a convivial drink on a Friday night between 20-year-olds out for a good time, even if, with respect, one would not expect the badinage of the Algonquin Round Table and that some attending were political junkies who had an interest in defence matters. This is far from a picayune point. One does not pash passively. Intuitively, given what had been happening, one would think it likely the drinking continued, given what we know about Mr. Lehrmann encouraging Miss Higgins to imbibe and the rationale given by him for them to come back to the suite. After all, Mr. Lehrmann said he was going to show Miss Higgins whiskey, not Qing dynasty ceramics. Mr. Lehrmann's state of mind was such that he was indifferent to Miss Higgins' consent and just went ahead willy-nilly. Having escaped the lion's den, Mr. Lehrmann made the mistake of coming back for his hat.